What's happening, Internet? This video, we're going to review the Sons of Liberty two-stage trigger, and throughout the video, I'm going to compare this trigger to the Larue two-stage trigger because it's my favorite trigger. So we're gonna see how it compares to the two. If you wanna watch the video I did on the Larue trigger, you can look back in the channel and watch it. But it was a very long-term review of the Larue trigger. But this trigger here, it's Sons of Liberty Gunworks two-stage trigger. It's made by Schmidt Tool, and from what I understand, it's made by them, but to the Sons of Liberty specs. It's a straight trigger, kind of. It's I think they call it a hybrid straight trigger. It's got this little hook on the bottom. I will say that the trigger feels amazing. My finger touching the trigger is awesome. I wish Larue triggers were made like this. It is amazing. I really like the way it feels. I like that little hook on the bottom. It feels great. I originally had this trigger in a Knights Armament 14.5. However, for me, it was a little too light for a fighting rifle. I prefer a trigger anywhere in the 5 to 5.5 pound range, as long as it's a crisp, smooth trigger. That's what I prefer. This one is advertised at 4.5, but my sample size of 1 here breaks a little bit less than 4.5. I think it breaks around 4.3, something like that. And it was just a little too light for me. That's just personal preference. So I stuck it in this heavy barrel Larue 16-inch gun with a 1:8 on top of it. And this right here is where for me anyway, in my opinion, this is where that trigger really shines in the like a SPR or DMR rifle. This particular gun here is my coyote gun. This is what I shoot coyotes with, or if I'm going to a field and glassing for critters. This is the rifle I pick up, and I think this trigger is best served in that, at least for me. It's got a great reset. The reset is not as how can I say this? It's not as strong as a Larue trigger reset, but it's not much. It's not very far behind it. It's a great trigger, and it's just the Larue for me. The Larue trigger just barely beats it out. If it was a little bit heavier, I would probably replace all my Larue triggers with these. This is an outstanding trigger, and it's not super expensive either. I think these go on sale pretty regularly from Palmetto State, or no, it's Primary Arms. Primary Arms, these go on sale pretty regular, and if you can catch one on sale, it's super worth it. I think it's worth it just full price, but I think it runs around 150 or so. I could be off just a touch with that price, but it's a great trigger. I like it a lot. I've had it about 6 months now. I've got a few thousand rounds through it on 2 different guns, and I don't think you could go wrong with this. If you like a lighter trigger on your rifles, then by all means, please try this one, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you're like me and like a little bit of a heavier trigger on your fighting rifles, this is a great option for more of a precision rig. But other than that, that's all I have for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you like the new camera angle we got going on here, give a thumbs up or comment below on that one. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.